go first, though, to a developing international story when it comes to the tense situation on the border between Turkey and Syria in the Middle East. This situation's been tense, we know, for a couple of years since Islamic State lost control of its so-called caliphate there. Former ISIS fighters, thousands of them, and about 15 Australians, in fact, are being held in Kurdish-run prisons there in Northern Syria. Thousands more women and children are in refugee camps, and about 60 Australian women and children amongst them. Now, the US, over the last couple of years, has been helping the Kurds. They, of course, did a lot of the heavy lifting in defeating ISIS. There are around 1,000 American troops in the region, and the US helps arm the Kurds as well. All of this, though, has been deeply unsettling for Turkey across the border. It fears the Kurds gaining any strength. It sees some of them as terrorists. And its biggest worry is that one day the Kurds will declare an independent state on the border there. Earlier today, US President Donald Trump held a phone call with his Turkish counterpart, Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Recep Tayyip Erdogan has been making it clear, I want to show you this just in the last couple of days, Turkey is now ready to cross the border to send in a military invasion to deal with the Kurds.
We have made our preparations. We have completed our operation plans. We have given our necessary orders. We will conduct this from the ground and from the air.
So the breaking news in the last couple of hours is that after the phone call earlier today between Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Donald Trump, the White House, through Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham's, announced that Turkey will soon launch a military offensive in northern Syria and the US will get out of the way. Here's part of the statement. As you can see, it says that Turkey will soon be moving forward with its long-planned operation in northern Syria. The United States Armed Forces will not support or be involved in the operation, and US forces, having defeated the ISIS territorial caliphate, will no longer be in the immediate area. So the US won't be resisting this Turkish offensive. It will get out of the way, despite, of course, the concerns of the Kurds about all this. And what then about those ISIS fighters, the thousands of them, being held by the Kurds? Well, here's what the White House says in the statement. Turkey will now be responsible for all ISIS fighters in the area captured over the past 2 years in the wake of the defeat of the territorial caliphate by the United States. Now, we know Donald Trump, just a couple of weeks ago, sitting in the Oval Office with Scott Morrison, raised real concerns, particularly about the Europeans not doing more to take back these foreign fighters that were being held in these prisons. Now Turkey, under an agreement that seems to have been struck between Donald Trump and Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Turkey will take control of these ISIS fighters. How exactly this transfer of custody might work is unclear, and what it will mean for the prosecution of these ISIS fighters, including the thousands of foreign fighters and amongst them the small number of Australians, well, that's unclear as well. More immediately, what about the fate of the Kurdish fighters who defeated Islamic State and are now set to face an invasion by Turkish forces? They'll get no help from the Americans. Well, that's pretty clear, but what will become of these Kurdish fighters is really unknown. We'll bring you any further developments on this one.